What's up? I'm Herman26 here to give you my CHIKARA We Must Eat Michigan's Brain review and CHIKARA Faded Scars and Lines review. I basically ordered these shows and bought them for the reason that I'm going to be at CHIKARA Sports Rex on Sunday, and I want to know the storylines the best I can, as opposed to just finding other ways of watching them. But I wanted to buy them and give them my money because they both did look very good shows, and they are Bryan Danielson's return to the independent scene. So I did want to check those out. And overall, both these shows were very, very good to great. Let me start with the very good one. I wouldn't call this a great show for the reason being that, I couldn't watch this in one sitting. For a truly great show, I will be able to do that. Time constraints usually don't let me do that, but if I could, I would, basic kind of thing. And I couldn't for this show for whatever reason. I had to stop after the Delirious UltraMantis Black match. So, let's get right to it. Green Amber is my Quackenbush. Didn't go all that long, but it was still very, very good. 2.5. Basically, it was basically the student versus teacher match. It looked very good here. Quackenbush did look very good. A lot of different submissions from him. And Green Amber did look very good. A high-profile singles match for him, so 2.5. Then we got the BDK of Lince, Dorado, and Pinky Sanchez versus the Osirian Portal. Just a fun little tag match here. 3 stars. Very. It was good. I'd give it that, but I know I kind of like the chemistry of Pinky and Lince Dorado teaming up. The Osirian Portal aren't the best maybe opponents for them. Maybe they can go out there with the feature is now Lince's former stable. So I think that would be very good. But Osirian Portal maybe not. 3 stars. Then we got to the worst match of the weekend by far. Delirious and UltraMantis Black. Delirious with his whole new BDK gimmick isn't really concentrated on doing a lot of his old moves, just basically hurting people. Even with his Neo-Solar Temple gimmick, he was doing that a little bit better than he is here. Maybe I just have to transition to seeing a BDK Delirious. So, and UltraMantis Black isn't the best in-ring. He has such a great character, but his in-ring is only okay. So, this match wasn't very good at all. Star and 3/4. Coming up to a very, very fun tag team match. Super Smash Bros. Versus The Colony. Just a good tag team match here. They give them time, and I really, really like both of these teams, so I really want to see them face, and they did put on a good match. This is the first time the Super Smash Brothers have been back in CHIKARA probably since A Touch of Class, if I remember correctly. They weren't at King of Trios, weren't at the Anniversario shows. I don't remember them being at Anniversario shows, at least. Yeah, probably since A Touch of Class is the first time that either of them have been in CHIKARA, so it's nice to see them back. They did make Ring of Honor appearances for whatever reason, but they weren't in CHIKARA, where they're known. So, 3.5. Sorry, it's still kind of. Oh, I just woke up a little while ago. Then we got to the match of the night. Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson match I wanted to see for a long time for whatever reason. I thought it would have been better than this. Still, the match of the night, it was still almost great, but it wasn't. And maybe because they wanted to have the BDK interference, they maybe didn't hold back all that much. They're waiting for a rematch down the road or something, hopefully. But this is still a great match, a match I wanted to see for a long time. So, it didn't underdeliver, but because it's their first ever meeting. But for my expectations of a Kingston Danielson match, it could have been better. And plus the whole tie throwing thing, and he came out to the Danielson came out to the NXT thing, which switched into the final countdown. So that was a very cool moment here. 3.75 stars. Definitely a good way to bring him back to the independents. And he had a very, very cool post-match promo, I thought. Then we got to the BDK team of Aris, Claudio, Castagnoli, and Tursas versus the Soul Touchaz, returning to CHIKARA for the first time since King of Trios 2009. This time it is Acid Jazz, the original member of the Soul Touchaz, returning. And Trauma wasn't there, but they still had Diamond and what's the other guy's name? I don't even remember, like J Red or Code Red or something. I don't know. Something Red or J. I don't know. Jason's a member of this set. I don't remember his name, honestly. Sorry. But sorry about this match. This is a very, very fun tag team match. It's good to see the Soul Touchaz back in CHIKARA. I'm a very, very big fan. Probably my favorite one of them is Marshe Rocket. So I'm very, very glad to see him here. And we had saw him in some previous Young Lions Cups as a singles competitor. Maybe he can get another singles run in CHIKARA because he's my favorite. But having him in the Soul Touchaz is just as fine. And then Kingston did interfere in this match, so 3 stars, very, very cool. Then we got to a Young Lions Cup match, Tim Donst and Frightmare. Very, very fun. Basically, a very, very cool ending. For a heel ending, it was very, very cool. I liked it. Tim Donst is definitely coming into his own here. I'm starting to really like Tim Donst matches. Frightmare, you know, a lot of people predicting him to be the guy to win the Young Lions Cup, so just a very cool match, and seeing the fans getting behind Frightmare, and you know, hating BDK and Tim Donst, so 3 stars. Then we got to the main event, the Unstable and F.I.S.T versus 3.0 and the Future Is Now. 3.0 and F.I.S.T kind of have a little bit of a conflict going on. The Future Is Now, it's just, so they basically just threw 2 tag teams out there, Unstable and Future Is Now, to make it an Atomic Co's 8-man. Just a very fun match, that's what it is. Just a fun, kind of unimportant main event, though, I kind of felt. Which is maybe lowering the rating of the show a little bit, but besides that, no, it was a very, very good show. 7.75, if you're a true fan of CHIKARA, you will think the show is great. You know, I thought it was very, very good, but, you know, a couple of things hurt this show from being great, in my opinion. So, 7.75. Then we got to what people probably won't agree with me as, but this is CHIKARA's show of the year, in my opinion. I've had a lot of shows that got 8.0 right on the dot. This is going to get an 8.25 for a couple of reasons. A lot of stuff that I had problems with on We Must Eat Michigan Spring were not there on this show. We got to the opener of Tursas versus Player Dose. I'm very glad this wasn't a total squash, but going into it, you kind of can assume what's going to happen with, especially looking at the cover. That's Player Dose, that's Tursas. Yeah, just 2 stars there. That you can imagine how that match went. Then we got to the Soul Touchaz versus the Colony. Kind of the exact same thing as Soul Touchaz versus BDK from the night before. Just a very fun tag team match. I still can't remember that guy's name, to be honest with you. It's probably on the CHIKARA website or something, or he says it in the promos if you order this DVD. So, 3 stars. Then we got to, or someone who's way more in CHIKARA than me, or as knows more about their independent career than I do, can tell you his name. I don't remember. Then we got to F.I.S.T versus 3.0. Johnny Gargano is in this storyline a little bit, for the reason being that he doesn't like Chuck Taylor, thinks he'd be a better member of F.I.S.T than Chuck Taylor would be. So he kind of cost F.I.S.T the match, and Chuck Taylor getting pinned by, I believe it was Scott Parker, for that reason. So just a very fun match. You know, every single match on this show was fun. There was one great wrestling match besides that, and just, you know, that's if you haven't ordered CHIKARA show this year and you want, it's gonna be CHIKARA Source Rex is the one you want to order, the one I'm going to on Sunday. But up until now, it's this show. You probably want to order this, because if you don't want to order all 3 nights King of Trios, honestly. Then we got to Johnny Gargano versus Player Uno. Johnny Gargano, I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. He's very, very innovative and very, very impressive, Johnny Gargano. I mean, you know, he's getting into that range where he's just, you know, being very innovative and being compared. I've heard a lot of comparisons to him to Alex Shelley, a lot of Chris Sabin, a very young Austin Aries. So, you know, I've heard a lot of comparisons to that, and he showed it in this match here. Very innovative stuff here versus Player Uno. You know, just a very fun and good match. I liked it a lot. 3 stars. Then we got to Lince, Dorado, and Pinkamp versus Frightmare and Quackenbush. Just a very fun match. One word that describes the show is fun. Every match was fun. I can't really say any more than that. Quackenbush he made Dorado and Pinkamp look very good. Frightmare did get his stuff in, you know, they threw everything together perfectly. Then we got to Delirious and Eddie Kingston. Not really all that much here, but it was still fun. I mean, you got to see Eddie Kingston, who's kind of one of the big guys against the BDK, go against the new member of the BDK and Delirious. So that was good for that. Delirious was trying to suplex a fan, you know. That was fun. Then we got to the Unstable versus the Osirian Portal. They are feuding. And they have a match coming up at CHIKARA Source Rex, which is kind of explained by this match, and I don't want to spoil any of it, but it is more storyline development than I've ever seen this year outside of the BDK angle that we had in this match. So there's that. So a lot of people that have that problem with CHIKARA, it's there, and me being one of them. Then we got to the match of the weekend by probably noticeably Tim Donst versus Bryan Danielson. This might be the best match of Tim Donst's career. You know, just went out there and they put on a Matt Classic together. No offense to Colt Cabana and Matt Classic, but they put on a great technical wrestling match, and I loved it. 4 stars. Yeah, nothing more than that. But this isn't CHIKARA's match of the year, though. I still like Quack and Jigsaw versus Generation Me a little better from King of Trios Night 3. So then we got to the main event for the Campeones de Parejas, Aris and Claudio Castagnoli versus The Future Is Now. Fall 1 came very quickly, just like their previous title defenses. Then they got and wrestled. This was a very, very good match. Got and wrestled, you know, the big guys versus the smaller guys. Perfect example of that. Then all the Technicos came out. Just a very, very good match that shows, you know, how dominant the BDK is. 8.25. Pick this up. I'll see you guys later.